Meagan Maloney. I run a busy riding school in Stouffville, Ontario. It's called Tiara Equine. What I do is I train horses and I teach people how to ride them. I grew up riding. My mom was a horseback rider first, so I would give her most of the credit for developing that interest for me. As a child, I spent a lot of time not having a babysitter but hanging out at the barn while my mom rode, so it was a natural progression to beginning to ride. I've done a bit of everything. I started out in hunter jumpers. It's essentially what you see on TV with all the, Eric Lamaze and Ian Miller jumping the big jumps, and the Royal Winter Fair. That's probably the most popular. Then there's dressage, which is my main focus right now. This is essentially what people call like horse ballet, right? Where the horse is dancing, and as the rider, you're working to create a very harmonious relationship, and really it's accurate. It's all about accuracy. And then the sport that all of my students are competing in, that I specialized in for the longest, is 3-day eventing, which is a triathlon for horses and riders, which actually involves the first two sports that I just mentioned. And then the heart of eventing is cross country, which is jumping, at the high levels, you're talking 20 to 30 jumps at high speeds over natural terrain, so that you're riding up and down hills, jumping banks, jumping ditches, jumping water obstacles, and all of the jumps are made out of logs and don't fall down. So it's considered to be a little bit of the more dangerous sport within riding. It can be dangerous if done poorly, but we're always striving to be safer in that industry. In 2005, I had a pretty serious accident jumping cross country. I actually did that off of a lovely horse that I had for many years, and she absolutely did nothing wrong in that moment, but we just miscalculated a jump and she hit it and went down, and I fell and essentially landed on my face, and then I broke my neck in 3 places. And about 2 years later, I was on a horse again. Whether or not that's the best decision, I seriously considered it, but when you're passionate about something and it's the thing that you care most about, it's an easy decision in the end of it. That, I certainly will take every precaution to be safe and to avoid an injury like that again. But it was a real experience, and it's taught me a lot about myself and about riding and about horses and how to do things more safely, which has really become my business model.
I want you guys to finish the little bounce with your legs tired, like push them, press them, hold them through it.
It's fascinating to help the students figure the horses out, to teach them how to speak horse in a way, to understand what makes their horse tick and what reaction the horse has. I think people are used to dealing with other people, and they often get on a horse and think it's doing something to be difficult, or it's not listening because it has some preconceived notion that it shouldn't cooperate, and it's never like that. It's much more simple than that. They're not behaving because you're not asking correctly. They're not behaving because something's uncomfortable. They're not behaving because they're frightened. And it's just really, it's really a fascinating thing to teach people how to understand what's causing their issues and how to make their horse go better. And it really is a language of its own.
This was my competition horse, but he had an injury and we can't seem to get him back. He did a tendon injury. It's been, almost 2 years of him being on and off.
Wow.
So we've tried everything so far, and we're just trying to get him comfortable to do some low-level stuff and maybe some lessons or just be retired. But it's been a roller coaster. Hey, bud? He's on some anti-inflammatories right now that seems to be making a difference, but it's a slow process. So he loves getting attention.
There's actually a rescue group on Facebook called Need You Now Equine. They're a group of people who have a connection to a few of the kill buyers, is what you call them. They're literally just people who go to auctions to purchase horses to be sold for meat. So once they've purchased these horses, they're sitting in a stockyard, and this group has permission to go in and take photos and put them on Facebook and basically you can post bail for the horse, as they call it, and this has to be done online without ever meeting the individual, or the horse ships within 24 hours often of being posted. I would say skinny is the most common thing when they've been rescued. No one feeds the horse they're gonna drop at a meat market. So it's pretty sad seeing how ribby and poorly muscled and just miserable most of these horses are. I would also say often they're just very untrusting of humans. That's the other major factor. They're frightened, they've been mishandled. Sometimes they come across as being angry because they're scared. Rarely do they want to be aggressive or mean. They're flight animals, and if they can't run, they may fight. You know, it might not be the quickest, fastest, best money-making route to select some of these horses, but if you can get some of these individuals who have been mistreated in the past, if you can get them on your side, they can turn into some of the best horses. They just try so hard for you. You know, it's a slow road for some of them, but a few of my best ones have been not the easiest to start because of their past. So in the long run, it's being a little bit emotional about how I select my horses, I think, has made them into better team players. Like, they really want to be part of it, and they enjoy the people they're around, and they enjoy their jobs. One of my staples is Tiara, who's my 21-year-old now, but that horse is showing no signs of slowing down. I've had her for about 7 or 8 years, and she actually is very special to me because she was the first horse I owned after my accident. I purchased her to help me get my confidence back, and she was the horse that made me decide I could jump again and brought me back to that. So it's really great to have students learning the same things from her, and she is a staple. She's very important to all of us. So she's kind of the matriarch of the barn. Everyone tends to call her the queen because she thinks she is. For me personally, I have a really nice dressage horse, and I am pursuing international competition with him this year, with the ultimate goal of, you know, maybe making a team in, you know, if not the Olympics, the World Equestrian Games or the Pan Ams in, you know, 5-10 years down the road would be my ideal. So that's a big goal, but that's the hope.
Goals are supposed to be big.
Yeah, exactly. Aim high. You know, develop relationships with humans, but it's something totally different to have a partnership with no words spoken, where you really have to learn to understand something that doesn't speak the same language as you, but they're so ready and willing and able to be a partner despite being a completely different species of animal, that really nothing in their makeup should allow them to be ridden. Like, they're flight animals. Why do they let humans do all the things that we do, and why do they come to the point where they seem to enjoy it? Like, a lot of them like to jump, and they like to you know, go out and gallop in fields with the rider, and some of them like to do dressage and dance and do all of the, you know, the strangest things that don't come naturally to them. So I just think they're the ultimate partner.